Thank you for that presentation. That was great. As someone who was part of the launch team for Indigo Bike Share, I knew everything you were talking about. So my question to you is, have you talked to, or what research do you have about what's happening in Philly? So some of those competitors were not Philly based, but some of them exist. And I'm curious if you did some digging in terms of what the Bicycle Coalition is doing or some of those other apps who are Philly based.
I have not specifically looked into the ones that are Philly based, but during our customer empathy interviews, we found that what people were using the most were like Google Maps or Apple Maps. And so we want to aim at those because those don't target safety when using them. And that feels important to us.
Thank you for your presentation. What features do you anticipate will drive the premium version, the paid version?
So we're thinking that the free version will cover those foundational elements, which will include the city safety information. So which streets have separated bike lanes and things like that, which is available for free, or it will be available for free for users. And payment will have the real-time updates, which will be more important to commuters who will be generally on the same route every day, but need to know if there's going to be some sort of thing that's going to, have to reroute their whole commute.
Great. Thank you so much. One more round of applause. All right, next up we have Daniel Vega, who is going to talk to us about Kickscore. Daniel is from the Fox School of Business. Let's give him a round of applause.
Lovely. Hi, everybody. My name is Daniel Vega, and my idea is Kickscore. And hopefully after the end of my presentation, I will have shown you a better way to buy shoes. Did you know that an estimated 63 to 72% of people wear shoes that are not properly fitted to their feet, which can lead to foot pain and injuries related to improper footwear? In such a huge market, it's clear that sneakers aren't one size fits all. People can wear the same shoes, but have totally different needs. Take a basketball point guard, for instance. With all the quick movements that they do and jumping often, they might want more cushioning and ankle support to support that. But that's not always the case for every single person that plays basketball. Anytime I'm buying something, any large purchase, I generally put a lot of information and research behind the things that I buy. When it came to shoes, I found myself lost in endless YouTube videos and reviews, and I realized that there had to be something to do to supplement them or to speed that process up. So that's why I came up with Kickscore. Kickscore is a web application that takes user information like shoe size, sport, position, past injuries, and health concerns such as flat feet and bad knees, and uses that to create recommendations based on the individual's needs. Whether you're a parent choosing shoes for your child's sport that you know nothing about, or even a college athlete looking for off-season sneakers to play outside, or maybe even an office worker looking for shoes as they're getting into their recreational pickleball league, Kickscore tailors shoe recommendations and can help you find the perfect fit. How does it work? So it uses Amazon Bedrock, a generative AI platform, which I've set up to automatically scrape publicly recorded shoe information alongside customer, YouTube, and professional reviews to create recommendations based on positively reviewed shoes with similar user data. As more users join and leave reviews, Kickscore's recommendations get smarter, providing better insights. And this can lead users to get improved performance, enhanced comfort, and reduced injury risk. This is kind of like an idea of what it would look like. It's just an optional quiz where users can willingly put in their information. And of course, there will be an option to not put this in. And it will kind of go down the line, and you can opt out at any point with information that you don't want to give. All right. This is the competitive landscape. So there's not that many companies that really do like sneaker recommendations or have a lot of like reviews on their sites. But Run Repeat was one of the main ones, which is a company that offers scientific analysis of running shoes by cutting them in half. And they give a lot of information like strike pattern or ankle support, right? And that might be a lot of good information for like an expert consumer, but it's not good for the everyday user. A website like Hoop Geeks is one that's tailored towards basketball players. What about users that are looking for shoes that aren't just basketball shoes? This is also a Reddit community that I kind of found this idea from. It's a report card, which assigns a numeric and letter grade value to different things like traction, cushioning with professional reviews. And that's kind of where this idea comes from. And Kickscore kind of fills this gap because this person no longer gives these reviews and does even more by automating the whole process and personalizing these for different users. So this is the market opportunity. After COVID-19, there's a growing interest in health and fitness, especially in that industry. So there's a whole opportunity. And as nobody has automated and personalized this, it's kind of a whole new market that nobody else has taken advantage of. And that's kind of, wow, that's really bad. That's kind of my presentation. Find your perfect fit and step up your game with Kickscore. If you have any questions.
Any questions from the judges?
Thank you for that, Daniel. I also really like the sneakers on the screens. That was good.
You like which one?
The design, but all of them.
The design?
Yeah.
There's
cool.
a really nice template. I kind of got lucky. I like that.
So I saw the benefits, and I still have this question of like, how do I make this a priority? Like, how do I make this a priority amongst all my other priorities? Like, why would I make this a priority? Like, to download this app and track this information here?
As the online shopping market gets bigger, people are going to look towards more like personalized reviews towards them. And this kind of automates that whole process. Rather than sifting through all these online resources, users can have it automatically done for them and then have like an analysis made for them where they can find all this information. It kind of just streamlines the whole process and makes it a lot easier for consumers.
And I'm sorry if I missed this in the presentation, but how do you make money?
How do you make money? Okay, so similar to like Yelp and stuff, there's a lot of affiliate and sponsorships that goes along with like recommendations. So say someone buys a shoe through the app, there's a percentage of it that would go towards keeping this app running, and guess it would keep going. Yelp has made like $1.6 billion this year, and all it does is it's a online, you guys know what Yelp is, but it compiles reviews for different nearby businesses. That along with going along with HIPAA guidelines, selling user information.
Great. Daniel, thank you so much. One more round of applause. Thank you.
That wasn't that bad.
Next up, we have Hassam from the College of Engineering, who is going to share with us his design for the small scale wind turbine.
My voice is clear? Yep, we're now starting. Hello, everyone. This is Hassam Khattabi speaking, an senior electromechanical engineering student at Temple and Shams University. I'm here as the team captain of the wind turbine team, which is specialized in manufacturing and designing the wind turbines in a small scale. The problem that we are solving is that we are trying to solve the problem of energy shortage around the world. And energy shortage results in many things that can load and make us use more the conventional ways like fuel and coal, which results in more increasing in the carbon footprint around the world. So our solution is providing the wind turbines in a small scale, which is 1 kilowatt wind turbine and then 5 kilowatt wind turbines. They are already working and we have already finalized them, and they can generate power at that moment. Okay, our traction and the process, we got a fundraising with $1,000, and it wasn't sort of cash and materials. And also we got a sponsorship with my hometown university and also Temple University and the Academy of Science and Research Technology and El Maco Transformer Factory. So what our next step? Our next step, we was trying to think about if we are going to manufacture the 15 or 20 kilowatt wind turbine to fit more power. But we suggested better to get a patent first to preserve our work, so not all of this can go. That's especially because we are manufacturing every single part in the turbine locally manufactured in Egypt, and this is the place that we were working. Okay, our customer we are focusing on the residential homeowners and small business and farmers because they can get this energy in the neat areas that it costs much to get the energy by the conventional ways there. Also, we are targeting the educational institution, research facilities, and the government and non-profitable organizations that they are doing some researches on these things, so our turbines can fit for them. Our costs, our all manufacturing cost, include all trials and all RA experiments, was $2.5K, and the market sale the 1 kilo wind turbine for 2K wind turbines, while our wind turbine can be in the market with $1.2K dollars. So it's much lower than the market. Okay, our competitors is large scale manufacturers. They are not focusing on the small scale wind turbines, and also this is only not only the reason, but in the Middle East and in America there are a fewer manufacturer of local wind turbine in a small scale. So, and also we have the knowledge how to operate it and do its maintenance ourselves. So we can get a revenue stream from these postings, manufacturing, selling, and doing the operation and the maintenance. Also, we are still hitting the lower price, much lower than the market. Someone can ask why not using BV instead. BV efficiency is from 20 to 25, and it need more something that can be done weekly, periodically, like cleaning, and it works only in the daylight, but the wind turbine is working all over the day in the wind, and it's affected also by the shade. There is no shade affecting on wind turbines, and wind turbine is need much less like area to install than BV to give the same output voltage. We are achieving, we are like hitting and targeting 4 of the SDG goals, and they are all connected, but we are directly hitting 4 of them. And this is our like products with Wind team, and we are happy to hear all of your questions.
Thank you so much, Hassam. Questions from the judges?
Can you give me an example of how that would translate to, say, a typical household? So say the 5 kilowatt is 5 of what a typical household would be 30 kilowatts per day. Just walk me through the impact for a typical household.
That means that how to go from 5 to 30?
What percentage of the energy would, say, a 5 kilowatt version of this produce compared to a typical household?
Okay, as the household is getting about in the day about it depends on the applicants that they are using. It's about 50 kilowatt, but okay, 50 it ranges from 25 to 50. It depends on each house and its customer. But our wind turbine is 5, which is 5 kilowatt, is already installed in a building, and it have its batteries that save the extra energy, because there is the energy using is like unstable. Sometimes I'm using all my applicants and machines. Sometimes not. I'm closing it off, and sometimes I'm not in the house. So they are like storage and making it covering we can say that the night times, because it's the most lights using there, and the ACs in the summer and these things. So so the 5 kilowatt turbine is already working and is already like giving the power to a real building.
Time for one more quick question.
How much space do you need for one of these?
Yeah, for the 1 kilo, it's just like 1 meter in each area. And for 5 kilowatt, it's long. So what we all need is like about 2 meters in each area. Like total, we can say 2 by 2 meters. It's 4 meters square, and so that we can use. So we can put anything beside it without affecting it or affecting the wind direction and making any instability in the wind.
Great, thank you so much. One more round of applause. This is your reminder, vote for the People's Choice Award. Again, I'll leave it up for just a minute or two. Also give the judges a second to finish tabulating the first 3 and then hand their score sheets back to one of our lovely student workers. Thanks, Fahad. Next up, we have the team from the College of Engineering. Kareem is going to lead the discussion, but this is representing Team Sputnik.
Hello everyone, I am Karim Tawfiq, Mohammed Zakaria, Hela Sharawi, Asil Hatem. We all from different majors coming together to find a solution for cleaning up oil spills. Can you imagine the amount of oil spills around the world? 536 billion liters of oil having spills. This amount of oil can cover 5.5% of the entire area of the United States. Oil spills not only affect to our human life, it's affect to all the environment. For us, it causes some diseases like skin cancer and hair damage. For the marine and wildlife animals, literally it's killing them. In Egypt, annually, 280,000 of marine animals killing from oil spills. According to US Department of State in 2023 reported that there is spilled oil in Red Sea caused by sulfur tanker. This and the United States paid $20 million to control the spill, and that came after the call of United Nations that appeals all the countries to helping in this problem, and they still need $15 million to control the spill. To address this problem, we made Sputnik. Sputnik mainly is robot. This robot is equipped with a sponge. We made some chemical modification on the sponge to give it the ability to absorbing oil without absorbing water. We made 2 research papers to make sure that we are scientifically on the right way. But when we applied it on the ground, unfortunately, our sponge didn't meet the requirements. So we worked on another research paper, and successfully, we have a sponge that can absorb 10 times its weight, 20 liters per hour. Considering the robot, we want to have a full automated and eco-friendly system. We didn't use any fuels or any gases that can harm the environment. Let's have a quick overview about how the process works. First, the water with oil will go there. The sponge will collect all the oil from the surface of the water. And after 15 minutes, it will be squeezed and all the oil will be collected in the container. And here is a small proof of concept of our sponge. As we can see here, we collect all the oil from the surface of the water. Let me mention that we are not selling sponges. We just provide a service of cleaning up oil spills. After being connected from the companies that we are targeting, we will go to the site, deploy the robot. The robot will collect all the oil from the surface of the water. And we will collect the oil from the container and give it to the companies for recycling. We are facing a huge global market size, expected to reach $12.2 billion by 2027. And Egypt capture from about $200 million in this number, and the North of America contribute 30% of the global market of the cleaning up oil spills, and the Sputnik capture to aim to capture from 2 to 5% of the global market size of the cleaning up oil spills in within 4 years. Actually, yes, we created the Sputnik to meet the specific need of a Class B or C companies, like the petroleum refining stations and the mobile companies. But these companies located along the Mediterranean Sea and the Suez Canal. But these companies actually facing a huge problems that they cannot deal with the different types of oil spills, which Sputnik with its customization sponge can collect all the oil from the surface of the water. And also we are expansion with the ship and navigation companies. For the competitors, actually we have 2 main competitors, oil skimmers and absorbent bands. Oil skimmers by Elastic company, absorbent bands by Speltec company. But these problems, these competitors facing a huge challenges. They are not locally produced and high cost. In Sputnik, we can absorb 100 liters per 5 hours with 0% cost, with 0% waste, and also low cost compared with the other competitors, 4 times cost effective. And we set a 1-year action plan. We already almost finished the 2 quarters, and now we worked on the second 2 quarters. We are focusing on refining the business and model, the pricing, the model, and marketing plan. And also we are working with the R&D to improvement our prototype. And this is Sputnik. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Questions from the judges?
Hi, you catch your breath? So thank you for that. This is great. It's probably the last slide or second to last slide. We talk about the, can you go back one? I'll be quick, Neil. I know Neil is, okay. Go forward. Okay. pilot testing with initial partner, and then you had to go back. Can you just tell us how long did that testing take? I'm really curious how long it takes for you to secure and acquire a partner, like a partner or contract.
Okay. Actually, we based on Egypt. We have visited many companies related to the shipping and navigation, which is located primarily in Egypt. We have gone and test our prototypes there, like a sponge and a robot, for 1 month, and they have built the idea, but they also need more like larger capacity to scale up to fulfill the need of their oil there.
Do you have a sense yet how scalable this is?
Again, please.
How easy it is to have a big impact or make the robot itself larger?
Okay, for the prototype, we have 1 by 1 meter square. So as he said, the capacity for this was 20 liter per hour. So we are aiming to capture for 100 liter per 5 hours. So regarding the scalability, we are now working on that, like finalizing and getting bigger MVP. And then as you can see, there are also another testing that we will made for another quarter.
And also regarding the size, actually it's not matter at all, because we will connect with the sponge with pump in the container. Once it's collect the 20 liter, we will just absorb the old 20 liter from the container, and the process will be continued.
All right. Last up in the undergraduate track is Ramdan from the school from right here at the Fox School of Business, talking about the Dynamo Stabilizer. Take it away.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce you to my idea, the Dynamo Stabilizer. My name is Ramdan, but you can just call me Don. Here's the problems. Ankle sprains account for the majority of sports-related injuries. Studies show that 22 to 50% of all sports-related ER visits are made up of ankle injuries. And additionally, the average cost per visit is $1,029 in the United States. The British Journal of Sports Medicine goes as far as to say that 70% of the general public has experienced an ankle injury in their lifetime, and that 74% of those patients go on to develop chronic ankle instability due to repeated ankle injuries, such as that. As this problem doesn't disappear in professional athletics. When we look at leagues like the NBA, the NFL, ankle sprains are the most common injury to get an athlete to miss multiple games at a time. As a result, athletes have to resort to ankle braces. We have athletes like Stephen Curry, Trae Young, some of the NBA's most prolific scorers in our time right now, develop chronic ankle instability due to these repeated sprains. And in the end, they have to wear these ankle braces to help them heal while they continue playing. However, this isn't enough. Let's take a look at the top brand used by these athletes, the Zamst A2DX. First issue, why would they take them off if they're scared of these injuries? It really comes down to the flexibility. Professional athletes have to prioritize performance over stability, especially at these higher levels of skill. The ideal product would maximize comfort, protection, and flexibility. However, current products have to sacrifice protection for flexibility, as you can see here. Easily bendable, but if you go too far, static products will be too heavy for these professional athletes. I, however, would like to have my cake and eat it too. Here's my solution, the Dynamo Stabilizer. Using STFs, we will be able to provide dynamic support along the main ligaments of the ankle. These STFs would provide fluid, flexible material that adapts to every single minute movement while remaining flexible at the general motions of the ankle. Just a quick intro to STF's non-Newtonian fluids. Essentially, when you hit them hard, they'll be hard. When you gently caress or fondle them, they'll be soft, kind of like me. But what constitutes as stress? Stress, we have two types of stress, stress from impact and stress from tension. What do we see in ankles? We see both types of stress occur, and both of them will result in instantaneous thickening and energy dissipation and impact absorption. Regardless of the flexibility, athletes are already using braces such as that, but they're still not working. Just last week, Stephen Curry was playing against the Clippers. Guess what happened? He twisted his ankle twice wearing both braces on both legs, which cost $100 per. Through further research and development, my product will be able to deliver a stronger, more flexible, more comfortable, and most importantly, a customizable experience for each athlete. Top competitors, there are none. There are no products on the market that give adaptive response in ankle braces so far. Here's the current market. We see Zanft up there, ASO, high in protection, low in flexibility. Where's the Dynamo Stabilizer? All the way up there. Given our adaptive response, we will be able to maximize flexibility while providing protection at the time of the ankle sprain when it is needed. To conclude, the technology behind the Dynamo Stabilizer is far from fiction, and this application has not been taken advantage of yet in the market. Any questions?
Judges.
Would this apply to other injuries, other joints? I don't know. I'm thinking locally, a bit of a basketball pain point right now, knees.
Yeah, so I've definitely looked at knees. The reason I like this approach to ankles is because other braces, knee braces, back braces, you often see a more mechanical approach. So that's how they are dealing with it right now. So you don't really need to look at non-Newtonian fluids like that. But especially when we look at the ankle, there's not that much space to work with, which is why I think an organic, automatic, just polymer would work better than mechanical solutions.
Thanks.
Thank you for that. So I'm trying to wrap my head around, I know you said some stats in the beginning, and I'm trying to wrap my head around. So I had a stress fracture when I ran, and they told me I needed to get in a boot so that it didn't move even a little for 8 weeks. And you're telling, what I'm hearing is you can move a little, like this product, you can still just have a little bit of that flexibility. So that's in my brain. But then the question for you is also, how do you get someone like Stephen Curry or Steve Kerr to go, you know what? Yeah, let's try these out versus what they've already been using?
I think a pretty good approach was used by, I don't know if you heard, Whoop. They're a kind of a sports wearable. They targeted the specific athletes, personal trainers. So I think that would be a really good approach. Regarding professionals, I think it might be harder to get close to them just because people know about how Whoop did it. But I think my plan right now is to first reach out to collegiate athletes, get them to wear it. And if it works, the word will spread. What? I mean, my target customer is honestly everyone. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. How about one more round of applause for all of our undergraduate finalists? So great to see such great ideas coming out of our undergraduate students. Again, shameless plug to vote for the fan favorite. We are now going to move on to our upper track finalists. So these are folks that have either graduated, are distinguished alumni, or are a current graduate student, faculty member, or staff member. So first up is, oh yes, sorry, I'll let the judges tabulate their scores. Just giving it just a minute here. I know that if Alan was up here, he would ask me to shamelessly plug the Changemaker Challenge. We'll put a QR code up for the submission portal for that at the end. Our next pitch competition, if you got inspired by something you saw here and want to submit to our next competition, that would be a really great thing to do. All right, it looks like they're going now. So now I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Carey, who is in the Fox School of Business, current graduate student. Take it away, Lisa.
Hi, everybody. My name's Lisa Carey, and today I'm going to be talking about my product, Cubby Curtains, a simple office solution to silencing distractions and enhancing privacy. It's estimated that 70% of the global office workforce works in cubicle farms such as this. And post-COVID, that's likely to increase. Surveys show that 40 to 50% of employers are pushing for their staff to come back to the office. And in the United States alone, up to 74 businesses have adapted a hybrid business model, which means that the days of the week when their employees are in the office, it's quite feasible that they would be in a cubicle environment such as this. Managing noise and privacy in these environments is a headache, pun intended. I have a corporate job, and it involves me traveling to multiple campuses. And my touchdown space at some of those campuses is a cubicle. It's constant phones ringing and office chatter and keyboards clacking and people interruptions. And it was very eye-opening to me. It made me wonder, how in the world does anyone get anything done in these environments? 23 minutes and 15 seconds is how long it takes an employee to get back on track after a significant interruption. And these distractions can add up to 2 hours a day in employee time. 18% of interrupted tasks get abandoned for that day completely. But these distractions are not only affecting employee productivity, they're also impacting staff satisfaction. Those days I work in a cubicle, I am stressed out, I feel unproductive and burn out. So what are businesses currently doing to combat these problems? Well, there are things like soundproof office pods, but they're pricey and they take up a lot of space. There are cubicle setups that have sliding doors, again, pricey, and it requires a level of compatibility with particular cubicle models. There's privacy screens for computers, but again, that doesn't address the noise issue. And then there's all these contraptions that address the noise issue, but not the privacy factor. Businesses need one cost-effective solution that addresses multiple pain points. Enter Cubby Curtains. Cubby Curtains offer noise reduction, enhanced privacy, for things not just like confidential information on the screen and being discussed on the phone, but it can also offer privacy for other things, like women who wouldn't have to leave the suite that they're working in to go find a lactation room. So there's other benefits to the enhanced privacy as well. They have a professional appearance, they're cost-effective, universally compatible, easily removable. They take safety into consideration, being antimicrobial and fire retardant. And they're easy to maintain. So they're wipeable and they can be easily vacuumed by environmental staff in the office setting. This is an example of what a minimum viable product might look like for Cubby Curtains. The thick, dense fabric is available in neutral colors, which are appropriate to any corporate environment. They are cut to standard cubicle sizes, so there's only minimal trimming required. And we like to have extra space in the width, which provides pleating, because all those extra pleating increases the thickness and sound waves get trapped there. It's hookless, it slides on the bar easily, so there's no additional hardware or tools required for installation, and each curtain comes with a tie, so it can be held open to still allow for open office collaboration. This is a timeline of how I plan to bring the product to market. By the end of the year, I'm going to post a flyer in my place of business with a QR code to identify departments who want to try this, and I will have the MVP developed. In January, I'll install the prototype. In February through April, I will conduct the experiment and make tweaks to optimize the product. May through July, I will conduct a cost-benefit analysis and business plan using the data gained in the experiment to justify ROI. August through December, I will investigate additional funding sources for this, and in 2026, I will launch the product. If I win an award today, the money would be used to fund the MVP as well as the experiment costs. For businesses with cubicle environments, Cubby Curtains are a must to reduce noise and enhance privacy. Not only will the employees be happier, but their productivity will soar. Thank you.
Thank you. Question for the judges? Sorry, from the judges.
So cool, but when you were showing the prototype, it was a bar across the opening of the cubicle, right? Most of the cubicles, or many cubicles out there, when a person stands up to full height, they are taller than the top of the edge of the cubicle.
Yes.
And in the example, there was a bar across there. So I was just confused. Are you going, like, what's going on? Do you go under the bar? Is there something that swings?
Initially, for the minimum viable product, yes, the answer is yes. However, that is something that was considered and will be taken into consideration during the experiment in some future tweaks of the product. Some additional thoughts to consider would be an arched tension rod for, to accommodate average sized people, or tension rods that easily fold up. So they'll disconnect on one side and fold up. Also, future versions of the product could also include an accordion door, still made from the same thick sound absorbing fabric, but that would just slide to attach to the other side of the cubicle. Same principle, but you won't be clotheslined when you go to exit.
Another quick question.
Yes.
I know.
So the consumer, is it the individual or the companies?
So initially, the thought was to do companies. Because the design is tailored for existing cubicle setups at the moment with the tension rod and the cutting, it would be not just to office environments. It could expand to things like airport setups that have spaces for people to work, or lounges, or even library cubbies, or some schools. My son was just recently looking at high schools, and they had in their group rooms, setups like this. But if the kids have breaks between classes, they have little cubby setups. So, but right now, again, for the minimum viable product, because it involves the structure of a cubicle setting there. However, ultimately, I think it could expand to other things, direct to consumer, for things like, crowded apartments, or if you're looking for private spaces, in there. But again, for now, the initial intent is for businesses.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause. All right, next up, we have an AI-aware writing environment, and I will let Megan Kane, who is from the College of Liberal Arts, tell you all about it.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
So, good evening. My name is Dr. Megan Kane, and I'm here to introduce you to AWE, the AI-aware writing environment that will bring clarity to AI use in education. So, the AWE team, The AWE team combines expertise in education and technology. I have expertise in rhetoric and composition, earning my PhD at Temple University, and I now teach at Seton Hall University. My co-founder, Stephen Malkovich, brings expertise in AI, software engineering, and entrepreneurship. So why did we create AWE? Picture this. It's the beginning of the semester, you're in a writing classroom, and the question of AI comes up. The writing instructor at the front of the room is laying out a policy, no AI use in this class. Students mostly respect this policy, but there's some tension there because students and others know that AI use, while can be sort of used in negative ways, also can be used in transformative ways. There's this tension that's emerging between college instructors and administrators who are still trying to define how AI can and should be used in classrooms, and students who often embrace these tools in greater numbers, but often lack the guidelines or the permission to do so. The numbers don't lie. In my classroom this semester, I had a strict no AI policy, but I still had many students say to me and submit papers that were AI generated for various reasons. And this reflects numbers of students surveyed across the country who use AI typically in the writing classroom and may continue to do so even though if their institution banned it. Instructors on the whole feel unprepared to address and feel unprepared to be equipped for addressing AI use in the university. This is also evidenced in my local institution where a multitude of AI workshops and platforms have been developed and discussed around this topic. And so current tools aren't cutting it in terms of ethical AI use. On one hand, there's ChatGPT, Grammarly, these tools which offer unrestricted AI access, but little guidance as to how to use it responsibly and ethically. On the other hand, there's a lot of AI detection tools, but they often lag behind the AI tools themselves. Sometimes they are biased, they are inaccurate, they create more work for faculty, and they erode the instructor-student trust model. So our solution is the AI-aware writing environment. It's an interface that helps students engage ethically with AI use in the classroom. So here's how it works. In this platform, instructors can set it up so students can write and submit their assignments directly through the AWE platform. Students can type in this platform, and instructors can select the level of AI access that they have in their writing assignments, whether that's no access at all, a simple grammar check, or more in-depth targeted feedback. After students submit their assignments, both they and their instructors can review metrics like copy-paste, typing speed, and how much AI is used, creating transparency around the process of AI use. This is available as a plugin for LMS systems like Canvas and Blackboard for seamless integration. So a number of ways this is different than competitors. It's a focused, distraction-free writing environment. It provides multi-tier writing support. It's instructor-led rather than relying on a third-party system, and it promotes transparent use. Overall, AWE allows instructors to gain tools to set clear expectations around AI use. It lets students build confidence in essential workplace skills, using and learning how to use AI ethically. The results of using AWE reduce misuse of AI, fewer false positives, and better preparation for the AI integrated future. Our roadmap is clear. We're launching our prototype next month. We're going to do pilot programs in the next few months, and by summer, we'll be ready for partner institutions to come on board. We're seeking partners who share our vision for ethical AI use in education. Together, we can shape the future of AI writing education that's clear. Thank you, and we're happy to address any questions you have.
Wonderful. Looks like we've got a question lined up. Go for it.
In terms of your go-to-market strategy, selling to the end user, are you thinking about going, say, direct to the university or partnering with Canvas, Blackboard, say, licensing the technology to them?
Yeah, so my co-founder is more experienced in entrepreneurship. He has some thoughts on this one.
Yeah, the go-to-market strategy is difficult for products where you have an end user and someone who's benefiting for it who isn't the purchasing decision maker. And so that's the real challenge. And so the goal is to first build internal champions with the instructors and students and use them to, through the gathered data, drive purchasing decisions by administrators and buyers. Also, your point, using sort of vendor-led sales is a model we're looking to imitate too, much like with Salesforce, because you have Salesforce integrators who are also resellers of third-party software that have built billion-dollar businesses just on top of Salesforce. So both of those we view as viable go-to-market strategies.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
All right. Next up, we have a current graduate business student, Tyler Collins, who is going to talk to us about RetireMates.
Awesome.
Clap. There we go.
All right, thank you. My name is Tyler Collins. I am the founder of RetireMates. RetireMates is a social platform designed to bring retirees together through shared interests and activities, from golf, pickleball, bocce ball, biking, fishing, and more. We connect individuals looking to build friendships, stay active, and make the most out of retirement. Now, there's 5 key problems that I'm solving for. First is the market gap. There are very few products on the market that are geared towards the retired community. Second, activity levels. Only 28% of the CDC, only 28% of retirees are active according to the CDC. Third is social isolations. As retirees enter retirement, they become socially isolated, and therefore making it harder to form new friendships. In fact, 1 in 3 of people who are retired say that they're lonely. Lastly is hesitation to join social platforms. Retirees often think of social platforms to be geared towards a younger generation and maybe too complex to use. Here's a competition and why we differ. So there's Facebook, which we all know. Does not really offer activity matching, like I mentioned, a broad user group, and a hard-to-use interface for the elderly. Next is Stitch. This is a 50-plus app that's primarily for finding companionship and not so much activities. It attempts to be a social media platform with chat rooms and forums. And my research shows that the activity focus will win over the companionship focused. Let me go back to that real quick. So I actually did some customer interviews, and most retirees will say that they are not really looking to find new friends. You know, they're often stubborn, but they will say yes to an activity. They will go to activity and therefore subsequently make a new friend. And my business model is as follows. First, there'll be the freemium model, free access to basic features, and also a premium subscription available. There'll be limited ads. Second is sponsored local events. We will partner with local businesses that will drive revenue and growth. We'll also allow our premium members to be an ambassador and host their own events, therefore organically growing our company. Last is in-app ads and affiliate partnerships. We'll have apps or ads and affiliate partners that will be geared towards the retired community and sell their products. Last is the market overview. By the year 2060, they're projected to be 95 million retirees. 10,000 people retire every single day, and those are potential users. And 61% of baby boomers now have smartphones. And that's not including Generation X who are now retiring. Now is the perfect time to launch an application such as this that we gear towards the retired community as the elderly become more acclimated to the technology. They have smartphones, they feel more comfortable using it, and it's a perfect time to launch. I feel like I skipped the slide, sorry. That was it, thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. Questions from the judges?
Speaking as someone who has a retired parent who could stand to do some more socializing, one thing I see her doing quite a bit is using dating apps. And I'm wondering if you ever considered that as part of your competition.
Yeah, actually the app Stitch, I think that is more geared towards like finding relationships and things like that. Now, it could definitely be an expansion of our product. I think first is to get the users on there. Like I said, they're stubborn. They often don't like to admit that they're either looking for a companion or a relationship or a new friend. So we'll get them there. I like to imagine it as, imagine them sitting on the couch as they're retired and they get a notification on their phone that John, a local retiree, wants to play golf. You click yes, you're out and about, and you make a new friend along the way. Now that something like that could expand to relationships, in a similar fashion. Maybe they want to meet and get a cup of coffee and things like that. But I think to start the product off, I would like to focus on the activity and then expand from there.
Really quickly.
Yep.
The second to last slide, I guess is that one.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a two-part question. One is, where is this data from? And then two, do you also consider people who will get into retirement? So like maybe 50, 55 as well, meaning like they're planning in the next 3-5 years and they can have access to this app into this network, or do they need to be retired first?
Absolutely. I think that was one of the problems I actually did consider, because I think it's gonna be something hard to prove that you're retired to join an app. So I think that's a great point. I think as long as you can, we'll open the access up. We won't need proof to join, but we want it to be retired focused because we want the people that are bored on Tuesday at 8 a.m. or something to go do something rather than the 9-to-5 workers. During the week, it's hard to find friends. This data is from the US Census Bureau. It's actually all from the US Census Bureau website for retirees of 65.
Thank you so much. Round of applause. All right, we're coming into the home stretch. So once again, if you saw a presentation that really resonated with you, be sure to scan. Also, just want to give a quick heads up. We've got 2 more upper track presentations, and then we have a really special session that's coming up. One of our student workers, Nike, is going to interview Linda Alunkel, who's here, who is last year's winner of the Innovative Idea Competition. So you can see what our success stories are and what they go on to do. So be sure to stay tuned for that before the award ceremony. But next up, we have Will Frazier, who is an alum from the Fox School of Business, talking about Sell by Me.
Excellent. Thank you.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. Oh, not yet. Hi, everyone. My name is Will Frazier, and I'm the founder of Sell by Me. Today, I'm going to share with you how Sell by Me will be the first company to disrupt and revolutionize the real estate industry and make the American dream of home ownership more affordable and easier than ever before. Sell by Me, it's not a good idea. It's not a great idea. It's not $1 million idea. It is a $1 billion idea. Residential real estate in the US is a huge market. On average, 5.4 million existing homes are sold every year, and that equates to a $54 billion total addressable market, one that is plagued by several problems. Now, the current process today to buy or sell a home is incredibly expensive. And unfortunately, many of the costs incurred through the process are simply unavoidable, with the exception being real estate agent commissions. And the average commission payout is a whopping $24,000. Now, how would it feel to save $24,000? Think about what you could do with an extra $24,000. But many people continue to rely on agents simply because they lack the confidence and knowledge to navigate the process, and there is no easy-to-use end-to-end solution available today. And so the Sell by Me solution is a free app-based platform delivered through a seamless single pane of glass experience designed to guide buyers and sellers using intelligent workflows through the entire process. Simply put, Sell by Me makes the process easy. It delivers unmatched savings to buyers and sellers, $24,000 on average. It eliminates any conflict of interest that exists in the agent-client model today. It makes buying and selling a home more affordable than ever before. So the competition today consists primarily of traditional real estate brokerages, discount brokerages, for sale by owner, and flat fee MLS listing providers. None of these competitors have any meaningful incentive whatsoever to disrupt the status quo under any circumstance, which is why they haven't and which is why they won't. This puts Sell by Me in a category of its own, in part due to the customer experience delivered through the app, and in part due to its business model. You see, Sell by Me makes money differently from any competitor today, thanks to its vertical integration, consisting of 3 underlying lines of business: mortgage brokerage, professional services lead generation, and title and escrow services. The total amount of revenue generated across these 3 lines of business equates to over $10,000 on average per transaction. And so to bring Sell by Me to market as quickly as possible, a phased rollout will be implemented. Now, the reason for this is it takes time to become a licensed mortgage broker in all 50 states, but this can be done within a reasonable time frame, and the company still makes money in those first 2 phases. Now, wrapping up, I saved the best for last. The target market opportunity here for Sell by Me is $29.7 billion. Now, to validate this, I've surveyed hundreds of people nationwide. 91% of individuals say they'd be willing to buy and sell their home on their own the next time around if it resulted in considerable savings. Check. 88% say they would prefer not working with an agent if there was simply a better and easier way. Check. And 55% cite agent commissions as the most annoying cost to pay and the #1 cost they would most like to outright eliminate. Ladies and gentlemen, the market is begging for someone to disrupt it and seize this $29.7 billion opportunity. Now, after hearing me out here today, I hope you all believe, as I do, that this is a tremendous opportunity worth pursuing and that Sell by Me will be the company to seize it. Thank you.
Oh. Judges.
So I hated paying those fees. Nobody wants to spend that money.
No.
Super boring.
Definitely
At the
not.
same time, times that I have purchased and sold homes, my agent has been helpful with helping me frame an offer, as well as when receiving offers, figuring out which one's actually the best, even when they're the same price, right? So is a cash offer better than a mortgage? What about the points covering closing costs? There's a lot of moving pieces to how an offer is put together, both how you put your own together and you evaluate them. So how would the app be addressing those types of issues?
Sure. So the way the app would help evaluate offers ultimately is there'll be a number of tools and calculators involved. But I want to speak to something specifically that you mentioned there, right? Evaluating an offer, what's better, for instance, an all cash offer or someone that's going to pursue financing. End of the day, unless the cash offer is going to close in that instance, right? So you build this logic into the app, you need to move in 5 days. You have a new job, whatever it is, cash offer closes in 5 days. Great, take that offer. Because no matter what, as long as that person is approved by the mortgage lender and you're going to close on time, you're getting the same amount of money at the end of the day, largely. And you can build that logic using intelligent workflows, tools like Smart IQ and others out there on the market today, and layer that in. So when you're evaluating an offer as a user or as a seller, you can make the most intelligent decision without having to rely on an agent.
All right. Thank you, Will. One more round of applause. All right. We have our final upper track presenter, and Anj is going to tell us about Squeeze. Round of applause, please. Thank you. There we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anjali, the founder of Squeeze, and today I want to talk about an innovation that Pilates has been waiting for. So Pilates was created to increase strength and maintain flexibility with minimum equipment. In the 50s, Joseph Pilates came out with this piece of equipment called the Magic Circle. And it was originally crafted out of a beer keg, but in the 80s, it was updated to the design that we recognize by today. It's super simple. It has 2 handles. It's made out of rubber and it's circular. How you use it is you squeeze it in and out. And what it does is it engages your core and activates your muscles. However, this piece of equipment has not been updated in 40 years. It only serves one function. It's unaesthetic, it's flimsy, and honestly, not mainstream. That's why I'm here to displace this product. But before we get into that, I want to talk about why I'm the perfect person for Squeeze. I've been deeply embedded in the fitness world since 2021. I know what low impact workouts entail. I work at the largest Pilates franchise in the world. And I just have an advantage of knowing what the market needs and how to reach the customers who need it most. I had a client who wanted to advance her workout, and I realized that I really lacked the tools to do so, which is why I created Squeeze, the first ever 3-in-1 fitness ring. It's made out of silicone, so it's durable. It's weighted at 4 pounds, so it's perfect for low impact workouts, and it's flexible, meaning you could squeeze it in and out. You could use it as a kettlebell, a dumbbell, and a magic circle. It's the perfect all-in-one solution to intensify your workout and streamline your equipment. As you can see, there's nothing like Squeeze on the market. We compete against the Magic Circle, which doesn't have a leading brand. It's not weighted, it's not durable. And our second leading competitor is the Bala Power Ring, which comes in 2 weights, 5 pounds and 10 pounds. Both of which are not ideal for low impact workouts. Clients who do Pilates, bar, or yoga, they like to use 1 to 2 pounds in both hands, not exceeding 4 pounds. Squeeze combines the best of both worlds, and as you can see, it's priced lower than not only buying the Magic Circle and Bala Power Ring together, but also just the Bala Power Ring alone. The yoga and Pilates market was valued at $152 billion, and it's set to grow to $417 billion by 2033. According to MindBody, which is a leading fitness app, Pilates was the most popular workout of 2023. Bookings were up 92% year over year, and Google search volume increased by 71% year over year. Trends like hot yoga, hot Pilates, sauna sessions, athletic style Pilates are on the rise, which is why we need a modern day solution like Squeeze for the clients who want to advance their low impact workout, for the home users who want to streamline their equipment, and for the studio owners who care about aesthetics. In the past 10 months, I've found a manufacturer, I've created a mold, and I've created a sample. I've also obtained a provisional patent, and currently I'm conducting studies with clients to test this product and how it feels on their body and how it goes in their workout routine. I plan on ordering initial inventory and delivering the initial inventory, and I hope to add a variety of colors and weights in the future as I continue to intensify workouts globally. Thank you.
Good job. Questions?
Thank you for that. So where will you sell these? Are they going to be sold in studios, in gyms as well, or direct to consumer?
Yeah. So I plan on starting off direct to consumer using TikTok Shop, Instagram Shop, Shopify, but I also will be going to studios selling to the owner because it's at the end of the day, like studios will benefit from it more because it might be a little more expensive for the consumer itself.
Any other questions? Okay, great job.
Thank you.
All right, your last chance is here to vote for your favorite idea. We will be tabulating the People's Choice Award shortly. I'm going to invite some folks on stage to help me move some chairs so that we can go to the next portion of our evening. And then once the judges are done, I'm going to invite them to head back to the conference room so we can deliberate. But before we do that, I do want to give an introduction to who our featured speaker is tonight. Linda Alunkel, like I said, is the winner of last year's Innovative Idea Competition. She was also the winner of our Changemaker Challenge competition, which again is live now. I'll share a QR code for that at the end. And she came in second place in the upper track for the Be Your Own Boss Bowl, our third and final pitch competition. She has developed an amazing company called Bite Brave, and I'm not only a fan, I think I'm about to be a user. We have a meeting coming up next week, but I will let her and Nikkei kick it off. If we could get some folks to help me bring the chairs on stage, that would be great. And I'll turn it over to Nikkei and Linda.
Hello, everyone. My name's Adenike Onanuga, but I can just go by Nikkei too. I want to thank you all for coming to the Innovative Idea Competition hosted by the IAI today. Here at the IAI, we aim to give a launch pad and a platform to budding and aspiring business owners. And here with me, I have Temple's Own, who graduated from here, Linda Alunkel, the founder and CEO of Bite Brave. May I have an applause, please?
Thank you, guys.
Well, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good, I'm pretty good. All right, my first question is that there's so much to your genius invention of Bite Brave, but could you give us in your own words as the founder and CEO what Bite Brave is, who it helps?
So the best word you said is genius because it's not really. And what I mean by that is, you know, Bite Brave was really founded on foundational science of introducing your baby food to allow, you know, prevention of a disease, in this case, food allergies, right? And that's why I mean it's not genius, because it really is just fundamentally feeding your baby food at the right time and at the right dosing and frequently enough, right? You know, your question of how it came about is a very personal story of mine. I think you guys probably have heard of that. Is I have two little boys. And now both are actually anaphylactic to certain foods. So my oldest one, who I thought was in the clear, was recently diagnosed a couple months ago. And Alan's giving me that face because I know. So, you know, it's very personal to me, and it's something that I know as a food allergy mom, as a food allergy family, but also learned a tremendous about this disease at Johnson & Johnson when I was there as well.
Cool, cool, cool. I was actually talking to some of the finalists earlier in the Creativity Lab about how innovation and invention is born out of necessity and often out of love. And I was wondering, like, do you have any allergies yourself? When did you find these out? And how do you think these would have helped you and your parents or guardians back when you were a kid?
Sure. So no, I personally do not have, and knock on wood, it stays that way. I was born and raised in China. Actually, I was born in China. I'm an immigrant here. And the exposure in China, you know, was an insane amount of bacteria, right? And I think that's a big element of why this disease is so prevalent now, is we are cleaning and removing all the good bacteria that actually keeps our immune system stronger. So personally, I don't have any experience, but, you know, saving a child's life, my youngest at 6 months, gives enough PTSD as a mother. And also just, you know, and then having to do that 3 times after that. is enough to make me, be this my life's mission to bring this to families.
Cool. Have you gotten any testimonials from relieved parents and guardians who aim to use ByteBrave in the mission of keeping their children safe?
Sure. So there's about 10 or so families that I've been able to help to date, and that doesn't include Neil's family in the very near future. But all of these families have literally said, there is nothing out there that can help me with this problem. And I think, with any kind of innovation, any kind of company that you try to start, the biggest thing that you have to ask yourself and ask your customers is this a big enough problem that they need a solution for it? And in each of these, not only was it a big passion of mine, to be able to start this and bring this to families, but also moms and dads are telling me that there isn't a solution out there on the market, and they're really putting together their own duct tape, cardboard, paperclip version of trying to address this problem.
For sure. Again, talking to a finalist earlier, a faculty member taught them about a migraine problem, which, if you guys don't know, essentially is something that you cannot move forward from until it's been solved. So I imagine, a child allergy, you can't really move forward from that once you figure out that your kid has one. But you mentioned your background at Johnson & Johnson. I wanted to ask, how did your jobs at Johnson & Johnson and as a World Without Disease director, how did they lead you to starting your own business?
So it wasn't on purpose. I didn't know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur until, to be honest, my graduation ceremony at Fox. I'm a chemical engineer by training from Penn State. I went into oil and gas, at first job out of school, worked at refineries, chemical plants, built gas stations actually as well as a little, fun side thing that I got to do. But, for me, it was when I had the opportunity at Fox to pursue my MBA part-time, I was working for a startup. And at that time, I realized that there is a different world other than just corporate America in the scheme of at a J&J or at a Sunoco scale. There is a way to be able to make a living through a startup as well, right? And then after starting Fox, at that graduation ceremony, and I still have to go back and find that person's name, he described this situation and he goes, the reason why you're graduating from Fox is because you have a business mindset. You wanted to learn about the business and how to, do great things in business, whether it's starting your own business or working in corporate. But then this one thing he said to me, and it stuck with me as an entrepreneur wanting to be an entrepreneur, was you don't want to be that person that goes down 40 flights, in an elevator with your cardboard box and your plant and the retirement cake that your team just threw you and say that is it, and for whatever reason that day, it was just this light bulb moment of, I think I need to make an impact. I think I need to do something that's so much bigger than me, and that I can use my skill sets as an engineer and from, the MBA to do something really good and really big. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it does, for sure. Similarly, what classes and activities at Temple informed some of your business decisions, or any recommendations for members of our audience who are in the undergrad program here?
So I actually had an amazing opportunity across the street for our capstone. We took a trip to Israel. So we were, there was this project that was presented to the entire class, and it was, you had to essentially compete for this project. And it was essentially a client came to Temple University, and she wanted to start a culinary school that promoted peace between Israelis and Palestinians. And I remember, our 6-person team was like, we need that project. It was this no-brainer. We're going to do everything in our power to get that project. Thank goodness we had a designer on the team that put together this amazing proposal. It was literally a 24-hour turnaround. And thanks to Nathan, we got, we pitched our team, we showed up, and we got the project. That project was both from a, just the mere fact that we could do some pretty amazing stuff and this woman, this client really had grand visions of being able to change the Middle East, right? And create a power or a place of peace among those two communities through the power of food. And she asked us as students, to come and make a business model out of it. And it was just so fascinating and incredible. And then we did it with Tel Aviv University, got to go visit them at Tel Aviv and, toured Jerusalem and did all the amazing stuff out there too.
That's wonderful. I'm noticing a continuity, a pattern between that project, between Bite Brave, that you seem to have a really strong tether to your motivations, to your passions. How important is keeping a motivation, maintaining motivation when you're an entrepreneur?
I was just talking to my SBDC consultant about this, our dear Isabel Chrome, and I'm smiling at Carl too, because Carl's, been an incredible guide for us as well. Entrepreneurship, I've fantasized about it since 2014, since I graduated, 10 years, right? And I was at J&J for 10 years. And, and I am, unfortunately, my role at World Without Diseases was impacted. It was an experiment at J&J. And when, the new CEO came in, they restructured the entire group and the entire group was eliminated. It was a blessing in disguise because I looked at that opportunity and I said, oh my goodness, I've wanted to be an entrepreneur for so long. I've learned about this disease. I've lived this disease. Why not do something about it, right? And that's when I fully stepped into, all right, I'm going to form Bite Brave and I'm going to do what I need to do. Now, a year and a half later, it is incredibly hard. I'm not going to lie. It is one of the hardest, and I get why so many companies fail and why so many people struggle, right? It is not for the faint of heart, but what drives me through those dark days and those dark times of, okay, this partnership didn't come through. Okay, this funding didn't come through. Okay, I have to do X, Y, and Z to get it to the finish line, is this deep care of mine that I care about what I'm doing. And I think that's what carries me through. And that was Isabel's words, because I asked her actually that exact question today. Like, how much does passion matter in entrepreneurship? And she said that exact thing. It doesn't need to be central, but what's important is it gets you through those very hard days. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, for sure. I think I want to ask, how does Bite Brave enhance the relationship between parents and children, between doctors and parents too?
Yeah, so the biggest thing about this disease and why parents are very scared about, or number one, they may not know, or number two, they're deathly afraid to introduce allergens, is because they're so afraid of horror stories like mine. Unfortunately, in that first year of life, pediatricians are given 15 minutes. And I think some of the pediatricians I talked to was like, maybe if we're lucky, 11. With these families every 2 to 3 months, right, during their well visit. And in those 11 minutes, they're asking questions like, is the water temperature correct? Do you have baby proofing in the house? Did you move your scissors from the bottom shelf? Like, they're looking at questions like that. They're not asking the mom or the dad, have you thought about introducing allergens? And if they do, and that's a big if, it's literally introduce allergens, good luck. So what that leaves is this massive gap of, well, how the hell do I do this? And on top of that, if I know about it, I'm deathly afraid of doing it. So that's the gap that we're trying to fill. And actually right now we're in discussions with Temple Health Network, working specifically with clinicians to help the Temple Health community, submitting an NIH grant through that.
Amazing. Yeah, OMG. Okay. Do you remember a particular moment that you knew you needed something like Bite Brave?
I think it was actually when I was coaching one of the families through it. And one of the, the science shows that if you introduce, for example, peanut, you have a very high chance of preventing it. Well, what happened is this mom was like, I introduced peanut and my baby's entire body blew up. Oh, no. And I asked her, great, good, I'm glad you did it, but you should stop, number one. And what product did you use, number two? And then go talk to your pediatrician. So when she got back to me about all how that transpired, she goes, my pediatrician said to just half the packet of whatever product I was using and to make an allergist appointment that is 6 months from now. So, you know, and I know that's not on the prevention angle, but what that specifically says is there is no support for families, period, whether it's prevention or management. And, you know, for me, I know what that quality of life is. My boys, my husband, we know way too well that quality of life. And if there is something that I can do to prevent, you know, what we have to live, which is holiday parties, severe anxiety, birthday parties, baseball games, movie theaters, you know, I'm best friends with the chef no matter where I go. And that's if we go anywhere, you know?
Right, for sure. I think a factor, since I mean, you're an amazing business person, but a factor of I think Bite Brave's success and the reason why people, you know, trust it so much is that it solves a problem that has an actionable solution. You know, like how are we going to get rid of allergies? How are we going to get rid or like change, you know, the way the medical system works? But at least now there's a way for people to like seek the help they need, and a pretty urgent way too. You know, 6 months is not enough time, like especially of young children. But another question I wanted to ask was that, oh, were there any early obstacles in launching and running Bite Brave that you did not anticipate?
So very early, you know, I launched the company in September of 2023, and I decided I'm going to try the venture community. And I'm laughing because it was you know, the Bite Brave at that point was barely an infant, right? I mean, like and I think about my companies as babies because it does feel that way sometimes. In this case, you know, as a as a single parent, you know, and a little bit with the company, but at that point it was in the early infancy phases. And I ended up going into the venture community, and I did get opportunities to pitch in front of giant, you know, audiences of venture funding. And I realized, and the feedback was, you know, great company, great idea, you're too early, right? And I didn't believe it, right? It was this realization of like, what do you mean I'm too early? It's a great idea, it's a big problem, let's go, right? But then what I realized is I didn't learn enough about who my target customer is, what is the true unmet need that they need to know about, and then for that matter, like, is it going to be high enough on the list for them to actually pay something, you know, for the solution that I'm going to get? So at BYOBB, we got the chance to go through the I-Corps program, and I would suggest if you guys are starting a business and trying to find that unmet need, number one, you know, reach out to the Innovation Nest and at Temple and you know, get into an I-Corps program. Or secondly, if you can't get into it, go talk to your customers, get your butt out of your seats and go and talk to humans, right? And then and only then will you really be able to understand the problem that you're trying to solve for the company that you're trying to build.
And how was that experience, like speaking to people, getting testimonials, learning what people really need? How was that for you in your business?
It has been game changing, and it's not stopped. So Neil was referring to earlier that he's going, you know, we have a meeting next week. We've won a grant with Drexel University. So we're in a partnership with Drexel, which is
congratulations.
Thank you. Which we're really excited about. And with that comes, you know, we're partnering with the Food Science Lab. We've hired a full-time employee, you know, through Drexel, through this grant, which is, you know, our first hire, which is awesome. And I was, you know, and we also have an incredible team, and Jake had to leave, but Jake was here with me, and Paula, and, you know, just I'm surrounding myself with just such incredible people. But that customer discovery piece is something that even if we think we have it, we can't stop. Meaning, because it's a consumer-facing product, opinions and ways that consumer behavior is, you know, it's constantly fluid. So that I-Corps program actually got us into the Temple Health Network, which is what we are doing with the NIH. So thank you. And also from there, we understood, you know, one fundamental assumption was that clinicians were not going to talk to us until we had a decent amount of data. That I-Corps program proved that wrong and essentially said clinicians are actually more open to collaborating than we actually thought, which is why now, we are partnering with, potentially Temple Health Network to be able to bring Bite Brave potentially into an EHR integration for families.
And I feel like that just doubles down on what the provost said earlier, like broadening your team, making them, interdisciplinary, bringing as many people as possible into your venture will only help it.
I mean, the reason I said single parent and I hesitated there is because I'm not a single parent anymore. I've got Drexel with me, I've got Temple with me, I've got Jake and Paula and all of these incredible people that, and a big part of it was I knew I couldn't do it alone. Like single parent is one of the hardest jobs in the entire world. Mm-hmm. And I knew that in order to bring this company to where it needs to go, I need to surround myself with incredible people.
That's beautiful. You mentioned the BYOBB last year. I was in attendance. What was your experience at that last year? Submitting, going, winning,
Well, I invited my children and my family to that one. And I was a nervous wreck. I was even more of a nervous wreck because they were there. But the process of actually going through that, and I was telling Neil this the other day, if you guys ever get the chance to submit it, it is an incredible learning experience just in the submission process, meaning they coach you through how to essentially start and run and, successfully run a business. They ask you very fundamental questions of what does your financial model look like? Where is your revenue channel coming from? Who is your target customer? And they coach you through sessions all the way up to submission. And one of them, I'll never forget. Well, Jake was in one of them, which was awesome. But then the other one was actually with Ellen Weber. And I'm sure you guys know that name. She's the managing director at Robinhood, right? And it was an investor perspective of financial projections. And I just remember sitting there and I was like, oh my God, like you do have to submit financial projections, which actually forces you to think about your company in a much different kind of way, right? It forces you to be ready for these hard questions and hard decisions. But Ellen was there and she, coached us as entrepreneurs, all the companies that were submitting on how to best do that and why it matters and, and all of that. So the submission process in and of itself was great. Then the pitch competition with my family here. And then afterwards, Neil and the team here assign a mentor for one-on-one coaching. Mine, John Neff, he was a Techstars coach. I'm sure you guys know Techstars, the incubator, right? He coached entrepreneurs in Techstars. Like that's the access and the way that, what BYOBB, what Temple offers you. And it cannot be overlooked because you don't get those all the time, right? As an entrepreneur, you don't get that anywhere, to be honest. And the fact that John, and we've had 4 coaching sessions now, and just last Friday, he was like, what do you think? You want to keep going? I'm like, hell yeah. So he was, so he's going to help coach me through this entrepreneur journey for Bite Brave. It's great.
I love that. I think something that's equally frustrating as it is beautiful and beneficial to entrepreneurship is that it forces you to look at so many perspectives. Like many people wouldn't even think to look at investment financials and how it looks from their end, or thinking about other consumer opinions other than yours, because you are your first consumer. But I want to know, how can a competition like this one influence a Temple student beyond their graduation? And how did it do that for you?
I think it's bragging rights a little bit, right? Like firstly is being able to say, and it's worked in certain investor conversations or, other pitch competitions. Well, I was a winner, or I pitched and I was a finalist. And they're like, oh, because, most of this Philly community knows about Temple's IEI program. I knew about it back in 2014. I actually was across the street at a BYOBB that I submitted another idea. Great name called Stella Mist, not to be confused with Sierra Mist, is what my husband kept telling me. But, it wasn't obviously a great idea. But I was over there and it was just this fascination about Temple's entrepreneurship program. And if you guys really look at it, BYOBB is one of the nation's biggest events that is that a lot of people know about. And the fact that we're Temple alums or Temple students, we have access to that. Please take full advantage of these resources here.
For sure. For context, BYOBB stands for Be Your Own Boss Bowl. It's one of our biggest competitions, happens the last one at the end of the year. Towards the end, in spring, last year, we gave away tens and thousands of rewards and in-kind prizes. The rewards went up towards hundreds of thousands of dollars. So be sure to apply for that or submit to that in the spring. Do you have any questions for me?
What are your dreams?
I want to be a lawyer and a writer. I'm going to be a senior this next semester, and then I plan to go to law school after that.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you. And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, guys. One question for the audience. If there's anybody who loves social media or loves designing content, we need somebody on the Byte Brave team, because Drexel University's content we need to convert into something that's, shareable. So please let me know. Sure. It's Linda@bytebrave.com.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause for our featured speaker. All right, so we are at the point in our evening now where we are going to send out some awards. So if the finalists wouldn't mind just making their way all back to the green room or this general area, just so that we're all kind of migrating from one place and I know where to look, that would be wonderful. So first of all, let's give one more round of applause for all of our undergraduate track finalists. You can see their names and logos up here. And same for our upper track finalists. Keep it going for them, please. Thank you so much. All right, so this competition would not be possible without the wonderful partnership of Blackstone Launchpad. So I'm going to invite Jennifer Jenkins up to speak a little bit about the Blackstone Launchpad tracks that are available that folks were able to win prizes towards. So
Thank you, Neil. Oh, thanks everyone for coming out tonight. This is my favorite part because I get to give away money now. So I think that I have met some of you. If not, the Blackstone Launchpad office is over in the Howard Gittes Student Center. So if you have an idea, and let's face it, everybody has an idea, come over and see me and we can talk about it and we can see what we can do to make that come true. And maybe next time you'll be up here. So I want to give out some awards. The Blackstone Charitable Foundation is in full support of all the entrepreneurs on many college campuses throughout the country. And they have donated $1,000 for each one of these awards. So I'm very happy to present these. The first one we have is the Social Climate Impact Award. And I'm very happy to give this out to someone who's worked very hard to support Black women through professional coaching and also mental wellness. I don't think she was able to be with us this evening, but I'm very happy to announce that this award goes to Shadika Smith Span for Keep It Classy Creations. She is here, yes. Please come join. You are so well deserving. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm on the right one. Next up, we have our Health and Life Science Award. And I'm very happy to present this to the person who is going to make sure that our ankles stay where they're supposed to stay, and that is Ramdan Russell. Go, sir. I will change that for you. Next up, we have our Consumer Products and Services Awards. And this goes to the people that are going to clean up all the oil with the great sponges. This is Kareem Tafiq and Mohammed at Sputnik. And his wonderful team as well. Congratulations to all of you. And last but certainly not least, our Blackstone General Award goes out to the person who is going to encourage our students with all their education and to keep them honest as well. Megan and Daniel at AWE. Thank you both so much. Thanks all. We're really excited. The rest of the awards are on the way.
Jennifer, waiting for it to turn on. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm going to invite Jeffrey Conradi up to speak a little bit about the Global Innovation Award. Jeffrey is another wonderful partner of the IAI, and so he is going to speak on what this award means and then present it. I'll be your Vanna White. I'll stand up here.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you, Neil. So it's nice to be here. It's my 10th year coming to this competition, by the way, including the virtual years. So we started it, I think it's the 8th year that we've had this award, acknowledging that 95% of the world's customers are outside of the US border. And through all these presentations, you can see the global context of how to sell your product or service abroad. So those of you who submitted, you would have seen there was a text for the optional Global Innovation Prize. So the winner is determined by the written submission and then also what they included in their presentation tonight. Our office has resources for you. You can find us up on the 7th floor of Alter Hall. We work with the World Trade Center, the US Department of Commerce, the city government, the state government. We can connect you with people who can help if you have a product or service that you want to take abroad. And so with that, I will announce the winner, which is Sputnik. Congratulations.
What's that? We're doing a picture. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Carly. One more round of applause. Thank you, Jeffrey. All right, so we are here to award the 2nd place in our undergraduate track, and I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it once I find their certificate. And that is, nope, that's for upper track. Sorry, hang on. I promise I'll get there. The 2nd place in the undergraduate track goes to Cycle Smart. Next up, we have 1st place in our undergraduate track, and that goes to, drum roll please, Sputnik. We have, we have some that we miss. Here we go. Here we go. 2nd place in the upper track is, drum roll please, Retiremates. Thank you. All right, 1st place in our upper track is Awe. Awe. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. Congratulations. 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 Thank you. All right, I think we have maybe 2 more to give out. Our People's Choice Award. This is for you all that voted. And thank you all. We got a ton of submissions. Thank you to Carly for tabulating those and working on our form. The People's Choice Award goes to KickScore. All right, and then here we go. The last prize of the evening. Our grand prize winner is, drum roll please, Awe, AAWE. Thank you all. All right, one more round of applause for all of our finalists, all of our award winners. A wonderful evening. Thank you all for being here. Again, I did need to give a shameless plug. Alan would kill me if I didn't, but the Changemaker Challenge submission portal is now open. So if you are interested in submitting to an idea competition just like this, that focuses on social impact, making the world a better place through innovation and entrepreneurship, the Changemaker Challenge is open to you. Again, we are open to all Temple students, faculty, staff, and alum from all 17 schools and colleges. We would love for you to enter. If you are here and not just out of the goodness of your heart, but are trying to get those Guild or FLDP suitable points to help you graduate if you're a Fox School business student, QR code is here to scan. If you run into issues and need it, just come find me. I will make sure I jot your name down and get you all the credit you need. Just again, a big thank you to our partners at Blackstone Launchpad. That is who this event was produced in conjunction with. And I think that wraps up our evening. Thank you all for being here. Much appreciated.
Back to the QR code, like with the
Yep, hang on, let me just. I will just.